You guys, I just had such a good idea. So I thought I would put a little bonus video up for you guys today. So I've had this colorway sort of in my head and kind of forgot about it. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. It's like half black and half pink, but on the black section, reverse speckle pink, and on the pink section, reverse speckle black. So I'll be doing a half and half, and then hand painting, and then setting in the oven. So I'm gonna go into the yarn room and show you how I prep yarn for a reverse speckle technique. Okay, so we're here in my office and I have 4 skeins of my lavish base. So I have a total of 400 grams. And so for each skein, I have a shower curtain ring just to kind of use as so I can grab it. And what I'm gonna do is put some zip ties, some reusable nylon zip ties, and I'm gonna place them randomly on here and pull it as tight as it will go. And that is what's gonna create our resist. And then I don't usually do them like super even. I have done before, but I think it gives a little bit better of a random effect, or at least we'll see if it gives a better random effect. My colorway Black Hole Sun, they are spaced evenly. So what I'm thinking is if I space them out super random, the speckles will maybe be more random. So I have 2 on. I'm going to do 2 more, which will technically give us 8 resists because you're going to have 1 on each side of the skein. There's also going to be some yarn on the inside of the skein that may not get dyed, but what we're going to do after is hand paint so we can make any adjustments that we want to make to the base color during that process. This is kind of one of those like labors of love. It's an amazing effect, but to do a lot of them is a little bit of a challenge sometimes because you have to take all these zip ties off while the yarn is wet. So that can be fun. Okay, so I'm gonna get the rest of the zip ties on the skeins and I'll meet you back in the dye studio. Okay, so here I have my steam table and I have the pink on a half size catering steam pan, and then the black, which is basically Don't Fear the Reaper, on the other side. I'm going to bring these all the way up to heat, and the acid and dye and everything is already in there. And then I will, once this is up to heat, I'll put the yarn in. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this really quick before these get too loud. But this is something, I think I first saw this technique from Rebecca from ChemKnits, so I will link to that channel down below. Rebecca has a wealth of information about dyeing yarn. And then I also saw Nicole Frost do this. And what I do and what she recommended is to put these skeins in dry with the acid, the dye in the water brought all the way up to heat. Reason being, if you were to soak this yarn, it would soak up the dye much quicker. And if this was cold, it would have more time to migrate under the tie, as well as if it was no acid. So we want like the quickest strike possible. And striking just means when the heat and acid is at the certain percentage or degrees or whatever that you want, it will adhere to the yarn. So it'll strike the yarn. You'll kind of see the dye slurp up into the yarn. So I went ahead and prepped, I have 4 skeins on Lavish, and I went ahead and just prepped 4 on my Stardust base, and we will give this colorway a try and see how it comes out. Okay, so we've got my lavish face. And this, I think in the camera, is looking very red. And it is kind of a reddish pink. I wanted to go for something that was very striking, very bright, because I'm going to be hand painting black onto it. And then here it is on Stardust. Oh my gosh, this is gonna look so cool. So this was just an idea that I had in my head. I did write the recipe down. Don't know that I would want to hand paint 100 skeins like this, but we do have to work kind of fast now because we don't want it to get completely dry. So just removing the zip ties. And then when we open it up, you can see the white spaces left. Okay, so what I have here is my pink. It's not the same exact pink as the solid pink there, but I have a Lure Lock syringe. And what I'm going to do is kind of spread it out so that we get both sides really good, but we are going to flip it. So you can kind of see why this is pretty wet. You don't want dye getting everywhere. So I do have towels that I sometimes use to kind of clean up some of the excess dye. Yeah, so you kind of spread it out like that. And this is one of the reasons I bought a couple of stainless steel tables, is so that I could more easily hand paint, because I do really enjoy it. You can kind of flip it inside out, make sure the other side is dyed. Fully saturated here. This step takes quite a long time. One might say 3 hours later. Also, I'm kind of digging how I sound like a chipmunk, so I'm just going to leave the chipmunk voice in. And I didn't really record an ending, but I will show photos in the end coming up of the results. And these are available in my online yarn shop right now. And there's a link in the description box below to ChemKnits as well as my online yarn shop.